Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Mask of the Rose. In the last episode we had some interesting conversations about arsenic, and today I think I want to try and talk to Milton, which means we need to try and find our way to the brass embassy. We could also talk to Ivy. She seems to know something about the murder. She was present on the day of the murder, so she may have some information that could be useful. But let's start off by recalling the past. I reach for another memory out of that jumbled grab bag. What do we have? Oh, let's find out about all the trees dying. A month or so after the fall, all the trees died. Nonsense. The trees were already half dead. Half. They'd been withering and losing leaves slowly. Now look at them. Overnight, they're all dead. And in some places, they're gone entirely. Let's see what day it is. Grizz pointed out what day it was. March 20th. Equinox. The days and nights are hardly equal now. There was a notice in the broadsheets about the phenomenon, and a profile of the Totteridge Yew, the northernmost tree to have fallen with London. Overnight, something drank that tree to her dregs, consuming all that the sun had endowed, leaving only bitterness. Archie took the sheet away to pack medicine bottles. Interesting, so something took all the energy from the trees? I wonder what that is. That's a very bizarre thing, isn't it? Let's head outside. What do we have here? So if we want to try and find the brass embassy, we need to speak to Harjit, I think. We do still have some stuff to do with the Warrens here, to meet Mr. Pages, but that's not my primary concern right now. We can't do much at Ferret's shop. We could go to the Landaus and actually talk to David about motives for Milton. But I feel like that's a little bit unfair. I'd like to speak to Milton directly. Right, let's go to Thrall Street and ask Harjit to show me a route. Let's see if he knows how to get to the brass embassy. Harjit likes to see me wearing his gift. He might take that as encouragement. Yeah, I'm satisfied with this. We are merely asking the man a question. You're looking well. Mention the sermons of Sylvester Lovelace. I recount the newspaper story. A certain Sylvester Lovelace has been preaching far and wide against the donation of souls. Make the story as engaging as I can. Plenty of detail and a fair sprinkling of dramatic pauses. I do not understand how so-called devils can claim a man's soul. I have met a man who claimed to have sold his, but he still walked. I believe it is lie intended to frighten us. We can talk about the battle of the church against wrong. The church should be guarding us against this menace. Time was when it stood up against such dangers. Harjit hears me out, but it's plain this question doesn't matter as much to him as to me. Don't mind me. We turn to the supply of gas and oil. It is a favourite pastime, speculating how much of these commodities the master have in store and where they could have come from. And what will happen when night falls entirely? Let's ask Harjit about some new destinations. Yeah, the Devil's Townhouse. Okay, we could also go to the synagogue. Interesting. Who would be at the synagogue? More Landaus, I guess? Let's go to the Devil's Townhouse. Have you seen any devils? If by that you mean the people with yellow eyes. Yes. They have taken over a townhouse. That way. He points out a direction. You can see them coming and going sometimes, and the occasional vicar standing outside to stare in. Arjit shows me the way, as he did before. At certain points he makes me look up at the stalactites above and fix their relationship in my mind. They sparkle with something other than stars. Don't treat the stars like constellations. They do not stand still. Okay, new location discovered. The Devil's Townhouse. They say this place is inhabited by devils. Or, alternatively, people with yellow eyes and a warm handshake. Arjit takes a look at the devil's doorstep and raises his eyebrows. It's plain he has no taste for this company, so I say goodbye and go on alone. Their door knocker is made of brass, unreasonably warm brass, and it is shaped like the head of a goat. The attendant is human enough, but she refuses to answer any questions. I wait in a very old-fashioned wooden chair. I keep feeling that the armrests are nipping at my wrists. I am invited inside at last. Ah, what's this? I think you may have become lost, my lord. Angle to impress the lady with lies. Let's go. Try to draw a personal connection given that my family were gentlefolk. Present myself as strong if unfriendly. Let's go with draw a personal connection given my family were gentlefolk. Aneurin here. I go by Milton. I dislike forenames. You may address me as Virginia. Or ma'am. Wait, the Virginia? As in the one who ran for mayor? Wow, didn't see that coming. In happier times, my family were gentlefolk. And may I say, the decorations are enchanting. I've never been able to get my crockery to whisper to me. They both fall extremely still. I'm not sure that they breathe. I am acquainted with the Landaus. I believe you know them as well. By reputation only, I assure you. The suspected murderer is being tried soon. I have taken up the task of, investigating. Can I lay out my theory of Milton's involvement? That seems a little... Be like, I have come here to accuse you of murder. I could get his permission to ask more questions, or I can just lay out my theory straight away. I'll lay out my theory and see what happens. I'll lay out my theory in detail. Uh-oh. Cunningly deduced. But it was Phoebe who made and lit the candles. Wait. It was David who provoked her and Rachel, who kept the boundary between servant and family. Why do you look to me with the blame? I can attack all devilish influence, which seems massively unfair. I mean, the devils, if nothing else, are relatively open about what they do. Comment on the relative motives involved, or refuse to explain myself. Let's go with the second option here. Relative motives. You showed the most malice and had the least excuse. Anyone else acted from some powerful interest or emotion. You were simply toying with them. I was experimenting with them. It was scientific and aimed at their betterment. Even for David, if you can believe that. And I hardly see why you offer most sympathy to the most irrational of actors. No, Don't try to answer now. That's something for you to think on later. My little gift for you. Among my kind, death is additive rather than subtractive, an upwards progression. I, however, find myself lacking. My memories of the Fourth City are limited and unsatisfying. You can put your ideas before the court. It is possible they will be heard. But your judge has no power to execute me. I can be killed only if I am willing to be. Until I can discover what went wrong last time I died, I am disinclined to revisit the experience. It might diminish me even further. Once I do know, I would be willing enough to undertake an execution. Wait, what? So, to him, death is a good thing, but he won't accept dying because something went wrong last time he died, and until we find out what happened last time he died, he won't be willing to die now. But does this mean you're guilty, or does this just means you don't care about dying? This doesn't really give me any more motives. Archibald is guiltless here. Phoebe, rather more entangled. But I will fall in their place if I can be sure of rising up again. So, that's basically him saying that Archibald, our friend here, is guiltless, so he wasn't to blame. But Phoebe! I'm starting to think that my initial suspicion of Phoebe is on the money here, where she actually wanted David to die, but the question is, why did she want him to die? I was hoping that Milton may have given us more information about why, but maybe not. And perhaps next time, in a form Virginia and her ilk would find less easy to mock. What would be required? And how would I even begin to recover what you have lost? I don't know. You are very resourceful, I've found. Those with more vulgar vocabularies might even venture intrepid. When devils die, they take on a fresh form. If you find someone who knows what became of my last one, I may be able to assist. The fourth perished with me. But there may be those who survived. They might remember what happened. They might even know where my corpse ended. If you find any such, do let me know. Though I suppose they may not know me as I am now. In which case, if you should encounter such an individual, ask them about Tulchi. Well, we know someone from the Fourth City. I am eager to learn what I was. Can I ask more questions? Let's get his permission to ask more questions. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions about the murder? There are some things I don't understand. Yes. Clearing up human misunderstandings is one of my favorite pastimes. It is possible, of course, that you will get some answers you do not want. But that will just make the conversation more delicious. Okay, I can talk about his possible guilt. Let's simply ask whether Milton was alone with David. Did you see David on the last day of his life? I visited the house. I did not attend David Landau's sickbed. Instead, I had a brief conversation with Rachel Landau and went away again. I did not put poison in Archie's medicine. I'm going to bring up marks on the corpse because they do appear to have an understanding of the language. The body we found in David's grave, when I saw it, there were strange symbols on its face. Symbols that, on reflection, look like this correspondence. I suddenly find myself very curious what exactly you think I did. I'm not suggesting he's responsible, because I'm not. I'm just curious if he knows any more information. Let's just say I wanted him to know. I thought you should know, in case it means something dangerous. To the best of my knowledge, the object that occupied David's grave is no threat to you. Nor even an especially advanced instance of the relevant arts, though I don't propose to explain those. I would regard it as unusual sculpture or peculiar doll, a placeholder until the man himself was ready to return. Out of curiosity, do you think I also resurrected the real David? Let's go with suggest he at least knew David's return, because he has mentioned he was trying to talk about the return, so I think he knew it was going to happen. No, but I think you knew he'd come back. Yes, I did, or at least I found it very likely. I tried to tell Rachel, but she wouldn't listen. Did you exhume his body? I don't think he did, but... Did you take him out of the ground again? If you think about it, that would have been an act of kindness. His family, having buried him, foolishly and unaware of his impending return. He would have been destined to an extended misery when he came to his senses. You suggest I secretly spared him this. I'm sorry, but you cannot expect me to confess to such a thing. An act of charity from a devil? Much less towards a man who hates me for my taste in cigars. And forgive the flurry of questions, but I really can't content myself with just one. Why do you imagine I would exercise this power over Mr. Landau? I could just laugh. Let's just laugh. Why not? I give full vent to my amusement. This has been a delightful little foray, but let us now set aside the question. There is a brief lull in the conversation. We can ask him about his work. Ask about the purpose of this building? Sure. There's a bunch of souls up there, which is a bit worrying. What sort of business is typically done here? Diplomacy. Commerce. Contracts are written and signed. Gathering of information. Is this an academic business? Do you mean this is an academic establishment? Are you engaged in research? No, I wouldn't exactly say that. My colleague is known to engage in experiment. I'm keen to hear about your business, all the same. I can invent a fabulous tale of my reliability in all matters. Oh my god, why wouldn't I? Prior to the fall, I was a confidential agent for the royal family, oh god. Oh. You may trust my discretion, absolutely. I do collect souls, but not, let us say, in bulk. There are wholesale dealers, souls by the gross, etc. I am more of a specialist merchant. For my taste, the literary soul is especially intriguing. You are more easily intrigued than I am. Are you using the church's meaning of soul? When you talk about a person's soul, do you mean the same thing a preacher would? Better to ask whether a preacher means the same thing we do. Some people don't even miss their soul once it's gone. And some keep their souls but allow them to get into a frankly disgraceful condition. You have now taken as much time as we can spare. At least you don't say whatever you are thinking, like most of London, but dishonesty is not alluring in itself, so pray don't feel I will pine for you in your absence. Wow. My opinion remains to be seen. I quite like Virginia. I shake my head to clear it. The ruminations are gone. All is as it was. Problem is, I have a funny feeling if you try to romance a devil, your soul's going. I can just manage another errand today. So, we've learned about Virginia. We've motive of disliking David and an action of exhuming the corpse. Should we go and talk to Phoebe? Or should we talk to David? But we've now unlocked the Devil's Townhouse, which is kind of cool. Have we unlocked any more actions here? I could just confront Phoebe. I feel like without knowing about it. But then he also kind of confirmed it. Should we just do it and see what happens? Let's go. Let's see what happens. We're going to confront her. And I'm going to change my outfit here. I want to be a little bit more threatening and forceful. Let's go with the elegant cloak. Oh, inspires the weak. Do I want that? Yeah, sure, why not? And then lapel. Where the Spitfires fork? Why not? I could wear... maybe I'll wear my badge. Maybe I could use that as some sort of like, hey look, I'm with the police. Oh god. I forgot about Algernon. A rat of exceptional breeding. What you might call an aristocrat. Aristoc rat. God damn it. I could also wear a rat. Oh my god, amazing. Wait, no, he actually sits on my head. Are you serious? I thought he was going to sit on my shoulder or something. God damn it. Alright, I'm going to take the rat with me. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? We don't have any face things. Maybe he's incredibly intelligent and he'll see through the lies. The badge will eliminate any expectation of a social visit. Satisfied with this. I don't know. The badge might be a problem. You want to speak again? Just a moment. I wait while she finishes her chores enough to take a moment with me. Okay, I'm just going to go straight for the jugular. I'm going to accuse Phoebe of killing David with arsenic candles. I lay my theory out. I hoped it wasn't my fault. I hoped Archie or someone else did something with the medicine. Because how could it be me? I'd been lighting those candles for months and no harm done. I point out he's been feeling ill for months. Isn't that the cause of his illness? All this while? Couldn't be. Could it? I got the arsenic idea from the household hints in the papers. 5 ways to make your candles last in the dark. Half London would have been poisoning itself if there was anything wrong with these candles. Maybe I put a stronger dose of arsenic in this time round. Maybe I put a few more of them in David's room. After I asked him not to go back to the surface, and all he had to say for himself was that I could stay behind. Ah! Okay. But I wasn't sure it would do anything at all. So, hang on a minute. You're trying to tell me that you didn't do it on purpose, and now you're like, well, maybe I did put in a few more candles. You know, I didn't think anything bad was going to happen. And when I thought, if it did anything, it wouldn't kill him. I bully her into telling the truth, or shall I say I'll help her if she tells me the truth? I'll say I'll help her. If you tell me the truth, I'll help you afterward. We'll find a way to make this right. didn't expect him to die like he did. I thought it'd be quick and easy. Like he'd caught a catnap. You're right to put Milton in the story. He was the one who told me to do it. Wait, whoa, what? He was? He told me it would secure David and keep him from living above again. Oh, so Milton told Phoebe that if he died, he couldn't go back to the surface. So my theory was pretty close. He told me the death would pass in the blink of an eye, and David would be back to life and right as rain. Milton truly is a devil, you know, like they say. There is a brief lull in the conversation. Are you going to tell the court I did it? Are you going to tell David and Rachel? I don't want to hang here in the dark with no one to bless me first. Let's promise to find a priest. I'll find someone for you to speak to before the trial begins. No one should face that trouble unattended. Thank you. Thank you. I won't ask you to not tell the court what you think you know. Most likely you can't do that. And if it was my candle that killed him, then that's better. Better than Archie dying for what he didn't do. Find a sympathetic religious leader to look after Phoebe. Well, I only know of the Reverend, so I guess we'll have to go and speak to him. But that solves the murder. It's almost time to eat. Let's just go straight to the table. So, told of impermanent murder. So Milton told her of impermanent murder. Motive made an honest mistake. I'll have to change our story. Archie's absence is a coldness in the air. How is the new feast coming along? The Masters have been planning a celebration for the whole city to coincide with Valentine's Day. The organisation is a disgrace. The supplies are insufficient, and their distribution through the city leaves a great deal to be desired. Excellent. I beg your pardon? Ah, it just sounds so invigorating for you, Miss Griselda. I'm going to commend Grizz's efforts. Good job, Grizz. It's good that you're working so hard on this. Once it's finished, there'll be another task, at least equally difficult. And possibly with even less of a purpose. Keep quiet and eat. I chew diligently. There are no more mushrooms on my plate. Let's review my day in the journal. What do we actually have? So we need to find a sympathetic religious leader for Phoebe. We can find someone from the fourth city for Milton. We can seek social acceptance for Algernon. Not entirely sure who we should speak to about that. I'm guessing also the priest. Reconcile Batachikan and Barquin. We need to speak to them for Milton as well, I feel. Provide Harjit with the suspect. This is the main one. I think we've got this now. Serve as an ambassador to robbery affairs. Bring Archie theories about the ministry and continue taking census of the whole neighborhood. Go to sleep. 296 days since the fall. 9 days remaining in the season of Yule. I think we can get quite a lot of it done in those 9 days. I'm the first to the morning paper. The headlines today read: Imports from above. Silks, confections, and a full supply of crickets. And with that, I think I shall end this episode here. Thank you all very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, let me know what you think. Your comments are greatly appreciated. Thank you again to the members of the channel. It really does mean the world to me. And as always, I'll see you next time.